As a kid, import gaming always felt like some kind of amazing walled garden, or a beautiful treasure displayed under glass that could only be observed from afar but never actually touched. There were two main barriers of entry back in the 80s and 90s. First, there was the fact that most game consoles had a region-locking element in their design, requiring people to buy special converters that allowed them to bypass such restrictions, and these converters were almost exclusively available from specialist import sellers that weren't really convenient to deal with back then, especially as a kid without a credit or debit card. Secondly, the aforementioned import sellers were often shady and exploitative. Now thankfully, the shadiest and most exploitative of these importers are long gone, especially an outfit called Buy Right Games, which had a fantastic selection most times, but offered precisely zero customer rights, not even the right to order status notification or tracking numbers, to go along with a general exponential hike in sleaze factor that you just don't see in today's crop of import specialist outlets like PlayAsia and VideoGamesPlus. To help matters further, platform holders have become rather enlightened on the matter of region coding, and all three systems today are region-free, meaning the only hurdle you have to clear is finding a seller to provide you with the imports of your choosing. In fact, importing is so ubiquitous that oftentimes Amazon will use import titles to cover gaps in their domestic stock. This can be a double-edged sword because the long-term monetary value of a title can vary wildly from region to region, but all in all, it's a nice convenience when your priorities are in order and you just want a copy of a certain game regardless of what font is on the spine. Many import titles, particularly on Nintendo Switch, have English language support built in. Yes, even in a lot of cases where a game doesn't get a release at all in North America or Europe, and will auto-select it when it notices the system itself is set to English. Of course, this all means that the import gaming scene has never been more accessible to broader audiences than it is today, as in many cases you're only ever a trip over to Amazon, PlayAsia, VideoGamesPlus, or even just eBay away from having the broader gaming world at your disposal. One thing that hasn't changed, however, is the occasional difficulty in navigating the import market itself. Imports, for whatever reason, still haven't been fully adopted as a regular part of the landscape by the mainstream elements of the gaming press, so if you're curious about a game but need more information, your only options are to hope it gets featured as an import review somewhere, or just going by Famitsu's review scores, taking a leap of faith and hoping it resonates with you. Now, I can't pretend to offer a sweeping cure to this problem, because with a day job and all other manner of irons in the fire, I find myself with only limited time to create content and limited income with which to grow my import library. Still, this is something I want to contribute to you guys, the viewers, by way of my channel. If I can somehow make the import market more accessible and hospitable to Westerners, I'd like to do exactly that. So an upcoming change to this channel, not immediate but reasonably soon, will be an increased focus on import gaming content and other niche physical product as well, but I'll talk about that another time. The import gaming world is vast, and there are layers to it. One that I've already touched on is English-enabled versions of games that don't release in North America or Europe, and these will make up a good chunk of this type of related content. Another layer is simply using the import market in order to bypass scarcity-driven business models like North America's limited-run games. Yet another is finding physical copies of games across the pond that were digital only in your native market. The biggest fish to catch with relative ease, however, is opening up your library to games that don't support English at all, but are so minimal in language altogether that you don't really need to understand Japanese in order to play them. You'll quickly learn to identify words like start, options, save, load, yes, or hi, and no, or ie, that will allow you to navigate simple menus and enjoy a lot of new games just as though they were released in English. Beyond that, if you're extremely committed, you can use gaming as a means with which to start learning Japanese proper, as I did. My own journey is nowhere near complete, mind you, and at some point you're going to need to involve more direct education like Duolingo if you want to go really far with it. But what started just by learning how to read the character names in Dragon Ball Z Super Butoden 2 on the Super Famicom eventually developed into a healthy understanding of enough Japanese text to reliably navigate a wide range of import games, including some really dense fare like the PlayStation's Toro Q franchise, or the PlayStation 2's Sega Rally 2006, both of which are still pretty accessible in select modes even if you do have trouble with the menus. The point I'm trying to get at is, among other things, I want this channel to become a means for more players to access that broader world of gaming. I'm still kicking around ideas of how I'm going to do this, as I won't just be introducing a single new playlist to the channel and feeding it a stream of narrowly focused content, but instead I want to cover import gaming from several different angles, whether it's just by telling you what's selling well in Japan right now, teaching you terms to help you understand Japanese text better, or making personal recommendations from my own gaming library. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in this, or if you have any suggestions for the kind of import gaming content you would personally like to see on this channel. That's all for now. If you like this video, then please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe as it all helps grow the channel. Click the notification bell to know right away when the next video drops. I'm Patrick Mifflin. Keep an eye on this space for more.